Hello and welcome back to Austin. I'm Randy Bueller. Time for Deck Tech with the Dragon Master, Brian Kibler. Brian is playing, is this Zoo? Is this Big Naya? Like it kind of wants to be a Zoo deck, right? You got your fetch land mana base, but
it's kind of a bit of both. This is a brainchild of Ben Rubin here.
Yeah, give full props. Hall of Famer Ben
Absolutely.
Rubin built this deck, right?
Brewed it up the other night. We were looking for a deck that had a lot of game against other Zoo decks. We expected a lot of Zoo.
Okay.
Against blue control decks, and just can generally play a bunch of hateful cards against the field. So I mean, what we ended up with, we were thinking we had various different decks that were trying to abuse Punishing Fire, which I think is one of the Punishing Fire Grove of the Burnwillows combination.
Yeah, I was going to say this combo is
one of the
not
most powerful things going on here.
This is a sick little combo. You get these cards together. Now I can give you a life. I can regrow this. I've seen the Michigan crew has taken that in a control-ish direction. Was kind of a gift package built around it.
The rest of the group that we're working with was Mark Herberholtz, Gabriel Nassif,
sure.
Pat Chapin. So this is sort of the skeleton that we've been working from for a while for a bunch of different decks.
Okay.
And Ben and I didn't feel as confident in the control deck. Wanted to play something that could be a bit more aggressive, finish rounds on time.
Sure.
So we built it into the Naya shell. We decided that, or rather Ben decided, to give full credit, that Curd Ape, Goblin Guide, these aren't really doing much in a lot of matchups.
Okay.
Yes, they can provide some pressure, but I mean everyone's ready for those. They have explosives, so your ability to put out a bunch of one
and Nacattl's the only one drop in the deck. Right?
No, you have Noble Hierarch, who I probably should have a fourth one. Ben does.
Okay.
But the ability to accelerate into Knight of the Reliquary. If you go first against a blue deck and play turn 1 Hierarch, turn 2 Knight of the Reliquary, they have no answer. There's nothing their deck can do at that point to actually get out of that. And they can't stop the Knight. They can bounce it with something, maybe repeal it a few turns. But by then, you can set up Treetop Villages. You can get Grove. If you have Punishing Fire, and I mean Punishing Fire against blue decks is just completely obscene. They're trying to control race you with Vendilion clicks. You can just kill it, bring it back.
Sure.
You just have you can even fire a Tarmogoyf on like turn 2, bring it back, and it dies. If they have a land in the graveyard, you fire the thing, you bring it back, it's going to die.
Nice.
So there's a bunch of little interactions going on here and there.
And how's the deck working out so far?
I mean, Ben Rubin and myself are both 5-0.
Wow.
The other two players playing it are Matt Sperling and Michael Jacob. And going into the round, they were 3-1 and 2-2.
Nice.
So I mean, it's got a pretty spectacular record, I think.
That's a great story. Yeah, we're finishing up Extended as we speak right now. Day 1, 5 rounds of Extended, getting ready for the draft. And yeah, Brian and BR are both sitting completely undefeated with this deck. So tell us about the sideboard. You have got some hate hanging out over
sideboard,
here.
well, I mean, we decided that we basically wanted to have our deck more or less pre-sideboarded against Zoo and control decks.
Okay.
I mean,
plus you've got the one Ghost Quarter in the main deck.
The Ghost Quarter is amazing. A lot of the field is Dark Depths.
Right.
And the Ghost Quarter in the main deck can be searched up by Knight of the Reliquary,
sure,
which can just give you an auto out to Dark Depths, and just they try and go off, instant speed, get it, remove it.
Okay.
And after sideboarding, you have 3 more of those.
Sure.
So we recognize Dark Depths as being a major deck. We have that, and we have Blood Moon, which can totally wreck like Hypergenesis, for instance. They can't cast a spell if Blood Moon's in play. There's most of them have absolutely no basic lands in their deck. You resolve a Blood Moon, the game's over. And I mean, similarly with Meddling Mage, incredible against Hypergenesis, good against other combo decks. And then we have some obligatory Affinity Hate. Ancient Grudge, a little more flexible than Kataki, can come in. For instance, last round I played David Ochoa, who was playing. He was playing the Dark Depths deck, and I brought in Ancient Grudge to deal with Chalice, to deal with Pithing Needle on Ghost Quarter against next level blue or Goyf blue. Bring it in, kill Chromoxes, kill Chalices, and Shackles rather. Okay. So I mean, you have a lot of action.
So you've got your aggro creature deck with the big mana creatures, but no dragons.
With Baneslayer Angel.
It's still not a dragon.
It has protection from dragon. It says dragon on the card. I think that's fair.
So it says dragon on the card. That's good enough for you?
I mean, these days I'm more of a Baneslayer fan than a dragon fan, I have to say, because Baneslayer Angel may be just the most powerful big creature just ever printed. Baneslayer comes into play. It doesn't die for turn. The game against any sort of aggressive deck is over.
Right.
They can't attack into it as first strike, lifelink. Alpha strike is like, well, all your guys are dead and I gained life. I don't think that was a good attack for you.
Trying to go back to back here, right?
Working on it.
Top 8 in Honolulu. This is the next Pro Tour, so
absolutely. I'm hoping to do well here. So
this deck seems to be serving you just fine. Good luck in the draft coming up.
All right.
Maybe
Thank
we'll
you very
see you
much
on Sunday.
Hope so.
All right. This is Randy Bueller signing off with another Deck Tech from Pro Tour Austin.